Hey, hello and welcome to today's GFG problem of the day. Hope you all are doing well. So let's say today's problem. So today's problem is LCS of three strings. So what we need to do is there'll be three strings given to us and we need to find the longest common subsequence among the three strings. Okay. So in this example, if you see the length of the longest common subsequence is 5. Okay. And how 5? See, if you see this geeks is a common subsequence. Okay. Among the three strings. Okay. So this is the length of the longest subsequence, which is common among the three strings. Okay. So that is why the output is 5. So we want to return the length of the longest common subsequence. Okay. So here in this example, if you see the example which is given, the characters are contiguous. Okay. But in subsequence, right, the common subsequence, the characters may not be next to each other or next to contiguous. So if you see in this example, right, if we consider two strings and what will be the length of the longest common subsequence? So here it is the matching characters are D, D, E, E, G, G. Okay. So D, E, G is the longest common subsequence among these two strings. And what is the length? It is 3. Okay. So it may not be, the characters may not be, the subsequence may not be contagious. Okay. May not be contagious. Okay. So now, so earlier, we have seen, right? Till now, we have seen LCS of two strings, right? We have seen a lot of times, right? This example. But here in this case, we have to find the LCS of three strings. But when we consider two strings, right? So what we do generally, if we are given two strings, okay, so if the first characters of the two strings, right, if some character, right, at some position, if it does not match, then what we do, we have two options, right? We have two options. What we do in that case, generally we ignore, for example, we consider BAA, we ignore this character, right, in one option, right, BAA and BAA, we consider the complete, we consider the complete, for example. Yeah. So we consider in one option, we consider this part, this string and this string. For example, BAA, we ignore this A. Okay, we ignore this A and we consider the complete string, the second string. And in second option, what we do? We take this complete string ABAA, right? ABAA, and we ignore this character, right? AAA, right? So we have two options, and what we do? Okay, we again go and find the length of the longest common subsequence, and we take the max out of both these combinations. Okay, right? So if certain character matches, for example, A, B, C, D, right, and A, E, F, G. Okay, so for example, if these two characters match, then what we do? We consider the rest of the string. Okay, we consider the rest of the string. But if certain character does not match, if it was this case, right, AB, then what we do? We have seen just now, right? First we consider this complete string, right, and this string, one option, right, and this string we ignore this one, and in another option we take complete string and we take this part, we ignore the first character, right, and then we find the max, right? Okay. So yeah, so similarly, we are going to do the same thing in the three strings. Okay, in the three strings. So how it will be? So what we are going to do if we consider this example, right? So here the first characters are not matching, right? So what we'll do? We'll have six options in this, right? So what we'll do for example, we will consider this complete string. Okay, and we are going to ignore this character, right? We'll consider this string and this complete string. Okay, so we'll be having six options total: A, B, A, C, D, right? Then we are going to ignore this, right? A, C, D, A, and then we are going to consider this A, C, B, D, A. Okay. Secondly, in second option, we are again going to consider this complete string, but this time, and we are going to consider this complete string, and this time we are going to ignore this character. Okay, A, B, A, C, D, right? B, A, C, D, B, A, C, D, A, and in this we are ignoring the C, B, D, sorry, D, A, right? And likewise, we are going to have six options, and each time now what we are going to do, in the next two options, we'll consider this complete string, and we are going to ignore these characters. Okay, in the last two options, we are going to consider this complete string, and we are going to ignore these characters. Okay, and then what in the final, what we are going to do, we are going to take the max, right? We are going to take the max, and for example, if the first characters, right, if they match, if it was A here, right, if they match, all the three characters match at certain position, then definitely we are going to just consider the next strings, okay, the next substring. Okay, so let's see the code. You'll understand better. So here first I'm showing the Java code. Okay, so what we're going to do again, we are going to use recursion and memoization. Okay, it will be simple to understand. So why memoization? Because there'll be a lot of repeated sub problems. Okay, so we'll compute once and store it in DP so that we can use it later on. Okay, so here we'll have three-dimensional DP, and what we're going to do, we are going to initialize with -1. Okay, and then we are going to see we are having helper function ABC. So we are going to start from the last characters. Okay. So we have seen here in the example, we are starting from the first character, but here we are going to start with the last character. We'll start with the matching with the last character. So yes, if you see, we are passing n1 minus 1, n2 minus 1, and n3 minus 1. Okay. Okay. So here, this signifies the last characters. Okay. This signifies the last character. So here we'll have, yeah. So if either of that has reached right less than 0, that means we cannot proceed further. We'll return 0. Okay. Here we'll come to this. Okay. We'll come to this. So let's consider this one, right? If at any given position, right? If the characters match, all the characters match, then simply what we're going to do, we are going to consider that length, right? 1, because all the characters are matching. And then we are going to call this helper function again, this recursion helper function again with all the, right? We'll proceed with, we'll move all the pointers, right? N1 minus 1, N2 minus 1, and N3 minus 1, right? This means this. This means what? If A, B, C, D, right? D, Z, M, N, right? D, U, anything, Z or N, for example, right? So here, if this character is matching, right? So simply what we are going to consider these strings. We are going to consider these strings. It will be straightforward, right? So here we are doing the same thing. Here we are doing the same thing. Okay. Else, if the character is not matching, right? This case, if the character was not matching, if it was B, right? If the character is not matching, then we'll have to take 6 options, as I said, right? 6 options. So here, if you see here in this case, we are considering the complete N2 and N3 B and C strings, but we are not considering the last character. Okay, the last character. In this case, we are considering complete A and C string, but we are not A and C string, and we are not considering the last character of B. Right. Similarly, it will be the same. And we are considering A and B, and not considering the last character of C. Okay. In this case, we are considering complete C, but not the last characters of A and B, right? Similarly, likewise, and what we are going to do, we are going to take the max, right? Whichever returns the maximum length among these 6 options, we are going to store in DP for that particular N1, N2, and N3. Okay, for this particular position N1, N2, and N3, right? So that the next time, if we get the repeated subproblem again, right, then we are going to just return. Okay, we're just going to return this. Okay, so that our time complexity will be optimized or saved. Okay, so this is the Java code. Let's submit it. So yes, it is accepted. Let's quickly see the C++ code as well. It's almost same. Only difference is the DP, right? We are taking vector over here, N1, N2, and N3 vector, and we are initializing with -1. Similarly, we are passing this. It's almost the same, right? It's almost the same. Okay. So I've already explained this. Okay. So, okay. I hope you have understood the solution. Please subscribe to my channel and like the video. Have a happy, healthy, and a great day. Thank you so much.